welcome. You're watching Business Today TV. I'm Sakshi Batra. This is Market Today, a show where we'll help you understand the closing action on the D Street. Joining in with me is also Shail Bhatnagar. The markets, if you talk about the Nifty right now, it's been choppy through the trading session, but it's managing to pull towards the high point of the day again, about 60 points higher. 22,398 being seen on the Nifty. The Nifty Bank holding above that 48,000 mark, just about 1/10% higher in trade. And when we talk about the kind of move that we are looking at across the sectors, barring just slight losses being seen on metals and pharma and healthcare index and the oil and gas index, rest of the sectors are still pulling up. The auto stocks are up by about 0.8%. FMCG similar move can be seen on this one. It's the realty pack, in fact, that's shining the brightest, 2.7% higher in trade. So that's where all the action is. As far as the Nifty moves are concerned, some of the big moves are coming in from Grasim, Bharti Airtel, Tata Motors, HCL Tech and Maruti. These are the top movers as far as the Nifty is concerned. And Vodafone Idea, after that successful FPO, continues to soar higher. It did touch about 14.5 to 15% of an uptick today, and the F&O space still hovering around 11% higher. Shail.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Let's dig in a little bit deeper as to reasons behind why Nifty is just up 60 points. If you see the move that has come in from Friday's low of about 21,780, there has been a clear 500 point uptick, and today is the day of sort of consolidating those gains and maybe looking forward to what's in store as far as the index is concerned. But there is hectic activity afoot. Let's look at it individually in terms of pockets. It's the entire telecom and quasi-telecom space shining in smart trades, and I'll give you the reason. Look at Idea Cellular. At the moment, it is the top traded counter in terms of volume. When you look at the price action on NSE 500, it's up about 11%, 3,400 crores worth of transactions have happened. Now, this is a very, very positive impact on Grasim. Remember, Grasim is the holding company of Vodafone Idea. It has about 6.6% stake in Vodafone Idea, and the counter is at its record high when it comes to price action on the NSE 50. So Grasim 4% higher, 2371, and about 13 lakh shares have been traded, which is about 2.3 times the 5-day average. Apart from Grasim, there are other stocks in the telecom space that are doing extremely well, and they are Tejas Networks. When you look at the kind of volume and price action that you've seen on Tejas Networks, it defies logic. 20% higher. The counter stuck at circuit at 1088, and about 52 lakh shares have been traded after the company moved from loss to a profit in the fourth quarter. Very, very strong traction coming in, and therefore ITI Limited is up, therefore HFCL is doing some strong action, and therefore Tata Tele Maharashtra is also gaining ground. So across the board, the telecom space is ours. Bharti Airtel is at a record high. So these are the themes that are running as far as the telecom space is concerned. Then I think defense has a very strong theme within the PSU basket. You have a record high on Cochin Shipyard. Remember, this was the first stock that was discussed in morning trade. Garden Reach Shipbuilders, Hindustan Aeronautics, and of course Mazgaon Dock. These are counters that are showing very, very strong gains, and these are the two broader themes that are running within the market, which itself is in a consolidating phase. We'll be joined by Mr. Sunny Agarwal. He is a Deputy Vice President and Head of Fundamental Research at SBI Securities, and a little later Prashant Tapse. He's a Research Analyst and Senior VP for Mehta Equities. This is what I'm watching, Sakshi. What else is on your plate?
Two stocks clearly that I'm watching out that are showing sudden ticks. One is NBCC. Over 5% of a surge can be seen on this one. There is a news report that the company has talked about the kind of order inflow that the company has received of the tune of 23,500 crores versus 6,700 crores on a year-on-year basis. So the order inflow has suddenly risen as well. And the other one that I'm looking at is from the railway space, and that's RVNL. Again, a 5% surge can be seen seen on this one as well. The other one is again Bombay Stock Exchange, BSE, that's up 10% in trade today. And very sharp move can be seen. In fact, it's the record high level for BSE. 3140 can be seen on this one too. A whole host of these stocks which are in momentum. But let's welcome our guest on the show. Sunny Agarwal now is with us. He's the Deputy Vice President and Head of Fundamental Desk at SBI Securities. Welcome to the show, Sunny, and do tell us how are you really looking at the markets overall, these pockets really moving in trade, and where are you keeping your focus right now?
Yeah, thanks Akshay, thanks for inviting me on the show. First of all, I think since we are in the election mode, what I feel is that market may try to consolidate till the third phase of election, which is close to 18th or 20th of May. And post that, probably we may see that the election outcome, which is due on 4th of June, it may start getting discounted. At the same time, close to 15th or 20th of May, the earnings season for the March quarter would have been over. And again, the street will also be discounting one of the major events, which is the US Fed meeting, which is again due in the month of June. So I think till that time, maybe we may consolidate in maybe 500 to 1000 points index on band on Nifty. However, stock specific action will definitely continue based on the earnings and various news flow which are going on. As of now, it seems that the concern on escalation of Israel-Iran war is behind us, and that is getting reflected in India VIX number also. So VIX has pulled off significantly today ahead of the monthly expiry for the series of April. And I think that has led to the stock specific action. Coming to the PSU basket per se, I think in case the street get an idea that the existing government is winning comfortably, then probably we may see one round of up move, especially on order book driven PSU companies. And to that extent, I think today we have already seen a move in the railway stocks like RVNL. In terms of sector, I think auto and auto ends is the one sector to be in. We all know that Jan to March quarter has been very robust, especially on passenger vehicle and two-wheeler side in terms of volume. And all these companies are likely to report healthy number for the March quarter. And having said that, with a forecast of a normal monsoon, I think there is a lot of hope that even tractors volume will pick up in FY25. So companies like Escort, Mahindra and Mahindra, which is again a play on both tractor as well as SUV segment. So entire auto sector is buzzing. And at the same time, there is a lot of government support on auto as a sector. A lot of push is being given to the product, whether it is in the form of electric vehicle ecosystem or for that matter, IC engine, making India as an export global export hub. So I think auto and auto ends is the one place to be in from a short to medium term perspective.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there's been a seminal event that's happened on Indian equities. I'd like to draw the chart of, draw your attention to Maruti as also the chart that is there in front of you. A digit change has happened. The counter is now at 13,000 rupees. Needless to add, this is a record high, and this is in sync with exactly what Sunny was talking about. So a record high on Maruti, and that's not the only counter that is at a record high. It's also Eicher Motors from the same space. And if you look at the Nifty Auto Index, let me just point out some new highs. Okay, it's Maruti and Eicher Motors within the large cap space that are hitting record highs. Let's also look at the kind of market breadth that we are experiencing at about 2:38 p.m. We track about 19 indices for you. 16 are in the green, and the rallies today led by the Nifty Realty Index 2.8% higher at 959. A lot of indices are now trading at record highs. Apart from the Nifty Auto Index, you have the mid cap and the small cap 100 indices also at record highs, and the advanced decline ratio fairly strong. 1387 stocks on the National Stock Exchange are in the green compared with 718, so an easy 2:1 kind of a ratio. Within the NSE 500, we have 329 stocks in the green compared with 165, and the rally is gathering momentum as far as the broader markets are concerned within the auto space. Sticking to your views, Sunny, what do you think of Tata Motors? There was this feeling that the counter would be depressed because of Mr. Elon Musk's impending visit, Tesla being a competitor to Tata's EV space. Now that is not happening, delayed for about 6 months. Your views on Tata Motors?
So again, what I feel is that post the massive run-up in Tata Motors because of the multiple news flow which we have seen over the period of last 6 months, I think right now we are neutral as far as Tata Motors is concerned. I think the fair value is close to 1,050, 1,100 rupees. Instead of that, I would like to bet my money on companies like Mahindra and Mahindra, where we are seeing a very robust order book on a passenger vehicle side. At the same time, tractor volumes are likely to pick up in FY25. So I think both the cylinders will be firing for M&M. So that is our top pick at a current juncture if somebody want to ride auto as a sector. In addition to that, I think within the two-wheeler space, I think Eicher Motor is a place to be in. So we have seen, despite of a lot of buzz on increasing competition from the Hero and Bajaj in the middleweight motorcycle, I think Eicher Motor has been able to do well on the volume front. Even commercial vehicle, which was a laggard. So we all know that during the election period, usually pre-election, the spending on commercial vehicle usually reduces, and that is also expected to pick up post the election. So I think both two-wheeler as well as commercial vehicle is expected to do well. So Eicher Motor, maybe a quick 8 to 10% gain is on card as far as Eicher Motor is concerned. And then in addition to that, maybe there are many auto ends companies, the smaller auto ends companies like SSWL, Steel Strip Mill Limited, or for that matter, Minda Corp, which are kind of a technology agnostic play, which can deliver an healthy return in a short to medium term.
Okay, within the PSU basket, let me highlight a couple of stocks that are doing phenomenally well. We've discussed the defense and telecom space. Also in thick of action is the metal space. Manganese ore, 8% higher, 375 for you. We have a small change coming into Shipping Corporation of India, 4.9% higher, 221.60. Within the metal space, NLC India and Steel Authority of India are doing pretty well, 2.5% higher. And of course, the power production space, NHPC up 1.4% and NTPC up 1.2%. Sakshi, what are you watching?
Aditya Birla Sun Life, that stock has been constantly moving up, is now at the high point of the day again, 9.5 to almost 10% higher. Sunny, what do you make of the kind of move that we have seen on this one? Do you think you'll be buying despite this kind of a move in this space?
Yeah, I think today entire Aditya Birla Group is on fire. So whether it is Aditya Birla Fashion, whether it is Grasim, Aditya Birla Capital, and hence we are seeing a move in Aditya Birla AMC also. Having said that, I think the entire mutual fund industry or AMC space is in sweet spot. So we are seeing a record inflow as far as SIP route money is concerned. And with the market close to life high, I think anyway their other income is likely to be robust. So again, that will aid healthy earning for the March quarter. HDFC AMC, we have already seen a very robust set of numbers. And that clearly shows that even Aditya Birla AMC or Nippon AMC or UTI AMC, you name any asset management company, they will report an healthy set of numbers. So I think if one should not have a short-term view as far as asset management companies are concerned, maybe in next 5 years, we may see entire corpus doubling in the span of 5 years. That is kind of 15% CAGR growth as far as asset management companies are concerned. And I think that the fair level of expectation one should have from this entire basket of asset management companies.
Okay, and along with it, could you also give us your view on BSE? That's now up 10%. Along with it, even CDSL is moving, and both are at fresh record high again. How would you really look at these broking related stocks and stock capital markets related stocks?
I think again, BSE, we have seen uptick in the volume because of launch of new product on FNO side, future and option side. And the BSE as an exchange continue to gain the market share. Now, I believe right now their market share is close to 10 to 11% as far as FNO is concerned. I think maybe this move is a precursor to an expectation that a few more products will be launched on FNO side, and that can further aid the volume on options and future for BSE. So I think let's see. At a current juncture, I don't know what will be the move in a short term. But if I take a medium to long term view, I think the entire capital market is in sweet spot. So whether it is exchanges, whether it is stock broker, whether it is wealth manager, whether it is a depository companies, I think in a sweet spot and will deliver an healthy return if somebody has a medium to long term.
Let's pay attention to the broader space that is also now moving. I'll put into your attention the stocks that are helping the Nifty. Bharti Airtel, just as we've discussed a little earlier on the telecom space, is at a record high, and it's contributing nearly half the Nifty's total, 26 points to Nifty's gain. Infosys a percent higher, contributing 13 points to Nifty's positivity. Tata Motors, Grasim and ITC respectively 8 points each. This is the gain as far as the Nifty is concerned. Pulling the index lower is two heavyweights, Reliance and HDFC Bank. 24 points negative by Reliance and 6 points negative by HDFC Bank. Sun Pharma has had a series of observations from US FDA, and that's sort of pained the sentiment on the Lal Street. 4% lower, 1480. This is contributing to a downtick of 16 points on the Nifty. What else is moving, ladies and gentlemen? It's the Nifty MNC index at day's high, 26,586. So many indices are moving with such immense rapidity that it is really impossible to keep track of them. I think one more stock that we've discussed over the last fortnight is McDowell's, which is better known as United Spirits. That counter is at 1161. The last time I checked, it was a record high at those levels. Yes, 1171. It had surged to 1203. It's again a move that is coming back on the screen. Mid-cap IT is in good shape. Counters such as Coforge are doing well. Let me also highlight some other stocks. Buying has returned on Persistent Systems, up about 27 rupees. Remember, the counter was down 10% yesterday after earnings that were more or less expected. You have Coforge 2.4% higher at 52.29. There is a decent move coming into Mastech 28.25, and of course Emphasis 0.6% higher. Nothing much happening as far as broader markets are concerned. We are almost now at 248. That leaves us with about 43 minutes of trade left.
Okay, let's also focus on the entire agro and the chemical space. This entire space is in the thick of action. Stocks like Sudarshan Chemicals, you can see a very sharp move here, 18% higher for this one. Hudson Agro, that's up by about 10% in trade today. Very strong move again here. Deepak Nitrite, about 4.5% higher in trade for this one. You can also look at Aarti Industries, that's again on the move in trade today, and a very strong move can be seen, about 5% odd can be seen on this one. Naveen Fluorine is again up in trade. A very sharp move can be seen on this one as well. Alkyl Amines, that's another one that's on the move. So this entire space seems to be in the thick of action. Sunny, what do you make of this kind of a move in the entire agro as well as chemical space, and where are you really looking for value here?
I think right now, as far as chemical is concerned, we all know that it's an under-owned sector. Sector was not doing well since many quarter. And with McMoney Finechem reporting their first set of numbers from the chemical basket, it seems that at least margins have bottomed out, things have started to improve. But again, what I feel is that it will be a quarter or two away where we will see a kind of sustainable earning growth for this entire chemical as an space. But if I pick up, if I see particular see an agrochemical, we can hope that the monsoon is likely to be normal. We may see some action in seeds and agrochemical company. Dhanuka Agri is the one company which we like within the agrochemical sector. If somebody want to ride ahead of the monsoon, maybe we are 2 months ahead of the monsoon as of now. So that is one stock to be in. Kaveri Seeds, again, one of the market leader as far as seed segment is concerned. So that can be added to the portfolio. But having said that, again, what I feel is that the approach to the entire chemical basket through it should be through SIP route. Maybe next 3 to 6 months, one can gradually accumulate all the respective leaders of chemical companies, and then wait for earning to pan out to generate an healthy return over there. Coming specifically to Sudarshan Chemical, I think there was some development on one of the large global player undergoing bankruptcy filing, and that had led to an expectation that that will lead to an increase in prices or at least market share for pigment companies like Sudarshan Chemical. So that has led to a stock specific rally as far as Sudarshan Chemical is concerned.
Okay, so that's the entire space that's on the move in today's trade. One other space that's constantly in the thick of action is the real estate space again, and names like Oberoi Realty, Sobha Limited, these are the pockets that are actually showing some thick action again in trade today. And there's been absolutely no let up in the kind of move that we've actually seen in the entire real estate space. The entire last year, calendar year, real estate was the topper. Financial year 2024, real estate was the topper as far as the sectoral moves are concerned, and there is no stopping the kind of move that we are seeing. Call it a pre-election rally, call it the kind of move that we are seeing on the back of huge sales that the companies are doing, and robust numbers that are coming in quarterly or yearly, when we talk about the kind of robustness that the demand scenario is, especially for the luxury properties, which give them a huge margin too. How would you really look at this space now, and which are the stocks that you will still be comfortable investing afresh in? Look at the kind of moves that we are seeing. India Buzz Real Estate 7.5%, macro tech developers, there's been no stopping the kind of move that we've seen here. Many of the stocks have actually given multifold returns even in the very, very short while.
Now, again, when we talk to the management of all these real estate company, everyone is of the view that we are in the mid-cycle as far as real estate upcycle is concerned, and there is a still 3 to 4 year runway in terms of the healthy sale growth. And no doubt, all these companies are reporting a very strong provisional set of number, have reported very strong provisional set of number for the March quarter, and that has led to an excitement that obviously all these companies will report healthy earnings for the March quarter, and with a robust pipeline, I think even FY25 and 26 looks very attractive. But if somebody want to deploy a fresh money in a real estate as a sector, then I think Phoenix Mill is the one place to be in. Again, more of an urban consumption story, rental driven business model. We have seen a recent big portfolio addition as far as tier 1 or tier 2 cities are concerned, like Ahmedabad, Indore, that will add to the earning for the Phoenix Mill. So that is the one stock we are bullish on. Century Textile, again, a play on a Birla Group as far as real estate sector is concerned. So that company is something which we are bullish on. They have recently diversified into the Bangalore market, also moving away from Mumbai. So that one stock we are bullish on. One Nesco, again, play on Mumbai-based rental, maybe exhibition center. So again, I feel Nesco as a company is trading at a very reasonable valuation. Post-COVID, I think the earnings have recovered fully as far as exhibition business is concerned, and even food business is getting an healthy traction. So Nesco is the one company to be in. At the same time, I think one Gurgaon-based player, Anantraj Industries. So that's again basically a play on real estate. At the same time, they have recently diversified into the data center business, although the data center business continue to remain a very small piece in this entire chunk. But the aspirations are big. I think currently 3 megawatt of data center is operational, aspire to be a 300 megawatt data center capacity in the next 2 to 3 years. So I think Anantraj is one company again, which we like from a medium to long.
Okay, so those are the kind of real estate names that Sunny is bullish on as far as the move is concerned in the mid-cap real estate names as well. Sunny, apart from this, the railway space is again coming back. Some of the stocks are again springing in action. RVNL is up and about 5% higher in trade today. IRCTC is buzzing as well. How are you looking at railways? We've had the stunning moves for across the space and all the stocks in the recent past, but after a bit of a consolidation, where would you really be more convinced about putting in fresh money, and do you see this fresh move will have sustainable legs?
I think railway as a story in India is a kind of 3 to 5 years story, and although we all know that ahead of election, the order inflow has dried up for all these companies, and as we approach the election outcome, I think the street is getting optimistic that once the election is over, again we may see a robust order inflow for all these companies, and so we continue to remain bullish on entire railway as a sector, whether it is a public sector enterprises like RVNL or for that matter Ircon or Railtel, or on a private side, Titagarh Wagon, Texmaco Rail. So these are the few companies, they are sitting on a very robust order book. And execution is something which we will see over the next 2 to 3 years. So I think railway, maybe some time-wise consolidation, we may maybe for a month or two, and once the government is back in action, we may again see a next leg of up move in all the railway complexes.
Okay, fair enough. Got that. As far as the move is concerned on the railway space, the other space I wanted to discuss with you is the FMCG space, Sunny. And we all know that it has been a big laggard. Why I'm talking about this is because Nestle caught my attention. Nestle is at days high right now, 1.9% higher. Just days back, we were hearing that Nestle was in the thick of another controversy with respect to adding sugar in baby food, but the stock is back. Springing back into action. 2505 can be seen on this one again today. And of course, there are fresh reports that our reporter Chetan Bhutani also talked about from his sources as far as action against some of the masala companies are concerned, like Everest and MDH. There are some concerns on cancer causing agents present in some of them. So the entire FMCG space is caught in the kind of regulatory ire or scrutiny by the regulators as far as their ingredients and are concerned. How would you really assess the entire space and stocks like Nestle now?
Again, what I feel is that the entire FMCG, the main problem for entire FMCG, especially consumer staple companies, was a very weak demand as far as rural belt is concerned. And although we have seen some green shoot of recovery, what I feel is that ultimately the good monsoon is something which we need for this consumer staple business to kick off from a rural belt. Urban consumption continue to remain very strong. And here we need to identify the companies which are outpacing the industry growth. So companies like Tata Consumer, which is again following a very nice strategy of organic as well as inorganic growth. So that is one company we are bullish on. Anyway, today Tata Consumer will declare their numbers. In addition to that, ITC trading at a reasonable valuation. The BAT bulk deal, I mean the big chunk overhang is behind us. So that is one company where we find a lot of comfort, at least in terms of valuation. Bajaj Consumer, again trading at close to 20 time price to earning multiple. Earlier, the company was a single product company, and we have seen they have recently, during the last 2 years, they have diversified into the skincare segment, and that gives a lot of comfort, both in terms of valuation as well as de-risking the business from a single product company. So I think these are the few names which we are bullish on from the FMCG consumer staple side. Discretionary spend continue to do well. So we all know jewelry companies have reported a very solid set of provisional update. So Senco Gold again is our top pick as far as the jewelry sector is concerned. Consumer durable, backed by the very strong summer, I think good days are back for the consumer durable companies, whether it is Voltas, whether it is Blue Star, whether it is Havels. I think all these companies are likely to report a healthy set of number also. So I think consumer durable is also one of the sub-sector which one can write this FMCG story or consumption story through.
Okay, so that's as far as the consumption story is concerned, and how should you be approaching it. The other bit, quickly before we let you go, is the entire sugar space and the action coming back on this space. Today again in the F&O space, we can look at Balrampur Chini showing us some traction, and it's now up as far as F&O space is concerned, up about 5%, even though in the spot prices it's up by 1.5% odd. Sri Renuka Sugar, Dhampur Sugar, Ugar Sugar, all of them were looking positive over the last few days as well, and the move is sustaining today, with some of them springing higher moves. How are you looking at the sugar space? Is there a move to chase here?
I think again, sugar as a sector is a directly, indirectly play on ethanol story, because the sugar as a segment continue to remain a kind of neutral to marginal profitable segment. Ultimately, the growth driver is an ethanol as a sector, which is the distillery segment. And with the election about to over in the next 1.5 months, I think maybe Street is expecting that the recent restriction of direct conversion of from sugarcane juice to ethanol, that may be lifted back. And again, the good days for the entire ethanol sector will be ahead of us. And at the same time, since we have seen a spurt in a crude oil price, I think it makes sense for the government to increase the blending ratio from current 12% to the target of 20%, which they have set for FY 25-26. So that can again lead to the revival in the distillery as a business. And I think maybe that based on that expectation, I think the sugar sector may be moving up. Ultimately, it's a play on ethanol story, I feel, the entire sugar sector.
Okay, so that's as far as the ethanol story is concerned on the sugar space. Let me just talk about some of the stock picks here, stock spotting that I can do as far as the moves are concerned on the markets. Apart from the stocks that we have discussed, the IT space is back in action. So HCL Technology is up by 1.6%. It's leading from the heavyweight IT names. Infosys is at the day's high as well. That's pulled up in trade too. And we were discussing some of the mid-cap IT names also that Sunny has also shared his view on as well. From the large cap IT names, would you still find confidence despite the kind of lackluster earnings that we have seen so far, Sunny?
I think I would like to maintain a neutral stance on large cap IT companies. So we all know that the long term demand environment continue to remain robust for the large cap IT companies based on the deal wins. However, in short term, maybe for a 3 to 6 months, I think the commentary is clearly saying that there is a lot of uncertainty on the demand environment. And even with the US Fed stance moving from 6 rate cut to 3 to 2, and now maybe a rate hike is the on card. I don't know how this thing will pan out. So I think at the current juncture, I would like to remain on sideline, especially for a large cap ID company. We'll wait for a quarter or two and then probably take a bet on IT as a sector.
Okay, fair enough. Well, thank you so much, Sunny, for being with us on the show and discussing all those wonderful insights on various stocks and sectors to give a greater understanding about where do the markets are looking at and where are they headed as far as the markets are concerned. Many thanks for being with us. Let's quickly look at how the markets are shaping up as we now begin the last half an hour of trade today. Of course, a lot of stocks at day's high, a lot of stocks hitting fresh high. The Nifty is hovering about 0.2% higher at 22,377. It's the mid-cap space that's definitely pulling up the markets today. It's up 1.5%. We've discussed sectoral move, but let me just talk to you about the stocks that are actually trading at day's high. So Britannia has joined Nestle, at day's high now, 1.5% higher in trade. Along with this, when we look at the entire auto space, that's buzzing. So Maruti, Eicher at fresh highs. Tata Motors has hit day's high as well in today's trading session. These are some of the stocks that are touching day's high, as well as when we talk about the kind of stocks related to capital markets are concerned, both BSE and CDSL are in the thick of action and are moving sharply and at all-time high levels for these two stocks as well. Time to welcome our other guest on the show. Prashant Tapsi now joins in. He's a research analyst at Mehta Equities. Prashant, warm welcome to you on Business Today TV. Good to have you with us. First up, explain to us, Prashant, what do you make of the kind of crash that we have seen on India VIX levels today? 22% lower. The index has seen the worst one-day fall, in 5 years. It's dropped below 10 mark as well from November of 2023, I believe. So that's the kind of crash that we have seen on India VIX. Now, all the viewers are confused here whether it is a good news or a bad news. We always are worried when India VIX is constantly rising because that indicates there could be heightened volatility in the markets. But such a sharp fall on a single day, what does it signify? What are the key reasons and how should an investor really understand this?
So we should actually focus this more on the yesterday's surprise from the Vodafone subscriber. It was almost a doubtful FPO, which was looking very weak up to day 2. And day 3 was a bumper money which has come into subscription. So overall, I think the volatility has been decreased. Looking at the how for 18,000 crore FPO, we got almost 88 to 90,000 crore money subscription. That shows the power of money, and that shows the confidence in the Indian markets. That to a company called as Idea, which is into losses, there are a lot of hurdles in the company. Even though the investors have shown a lot of confidence, that has been the major reason what I feel. And second is again the way how SIP amount is coming into markets and every dip is been bought. So if you see global economic, it's stable. US is almost stable and they have turned positive again. Economical conditions, microeconomical data are always getting somewhat neutral to positive again. The expectation of interest rates cut is almost gone out now for June. And the only thing which we are waiting for is the election results. The almost Modi will continue to be a Prime Minister of India, but again, the number is the game, and where we are expecting 350 seats and above. So market is discounting everything, and this fall is a surprise for all of that.
Okay, so that is good. That could potentially be the reason why we are looking at that dip in the India VIX. Let's now begin by talking about stocks. Any 2 stock ideas that you can share with us, Prashant, that you have selected for our viewers today?
I think Tata Motors would be again my favorite stock, which we are going to buy, and we are recommending everybody to have a trade on that. It can be a BTST as well as a positional trade for some 1 week, 10 days. So Tata Motors from this level can again come back to its 1,004-digit number very soon. And again, 1,100 is my target for positional holding. There are a lot of good news coming out of this EV sector. Again, today morning we saw almost 2,000 cars are going to be coming in as an order for Tata Motors in the EV segment. So I think to play a auto sector in 3 segments, that is CV, PV and EV, this is the only best company to trade for a good return for short term.
Okay, got that. So Tata Motors is the pick. This could be a BTSC trade as well as a fresh buy positional levels as well that Prashant is giving us. But you did talk about Vodafone's FPO, and therefore I want to ask you, there is an space from the Birla group that is in the thick of action because of Vodafone Idea as well. The stock went up 14.5%, came down a little, but it's holding steady at around 11% uptick right now for Vodafone, 14.35 right now. But along with Vodafone, look at the entire group stocks. Aditya Birla Capital, that's looking very, very positive right now. It's up about 7.5%. Aditya Birla Fashion Retail, that's up by 10% odd in trade today. Aditya Birla AMC, that's up by 4% in trade. Grasim is up by in trade as well, 4% higher for this one again. Ultratech Cement, let's look at that one too in case there is any move. But these were the key stocks where it's, the entire move is being seen. How would you really look at the kind of move that we are seeing here, and any particular stocks from this group that you follow?
I think if you see the FPO subscription data, the whole world has shown confidence in the group. That is the major reason why the whole group is up today. If you focus only on the one stock, I am liking AB Fashion a lot today. It's almost up by 10%. I think there will be good corporate announcements going forward in next 10-15 days. So I think this would be a stock one should focus more on this. And my technical target would be around 295 to 300 rupees for a very short term. So my pick would be AB Fashion in the Aditya Birla Group.
Okay, AB Fashion and the Aditya Birla Group is what one can focus on. You also pointed out on Tata Motors, and the entire auto space is also in the thick of action. Along with Tata Motors, we are also looking at Maruti Suzuki, which for the first time ever has crossed the 13,000 mark and is trading at lifetime high levels. Eicher Motors, that stock is again showing a strong traction and is again moving at record high levels again. 45.15 can be seen on this one, touched a record high level today. Hero MotoCorp is picking up pace, and you can see about a 0.7% uptick on this one too. Anything else apart from Tata Motors that you'd like to follow in the entire auto basket?
I think second stock again, JBM Auto would be a stock which I would like to focus more on that again, because it is a company which can be a alternative for a Tata Motors in terms bus segment. Even he is gaining a lot of traction in terms of getting more orders from the markets, and the performance and the volume growth are really crossing all the industry averages. So JBM Auto would be the good stock one should focus on. On an auto sector, I think why we are focusing on that, interest rates are stable, volumes are increasing, plus public is ready to spend a lot of money in the 8 lakhs to 10 lakhs and above segment of cars. So the huge volume is coming in those segments. So Maruti has a segment, Tata Motors has a segment. On the bus segment, I think JBM Auto would be the best in class company to add on.
Okay, got that. So that's as far as the entire auto space is concerned. Apart from this, I also wanted to discuss with you one more space, and that is the pharma space as well. There are some bounces happening on some of the companies. Some are reaction to news where companies are receiving, clarification from US FDA after scrutiny. EIRs are being given at this point in time. There are certain acquisitions, certain drug newses that are really pulling up the index, pulling up certain stocks. But how are you really looking at the pharma space? Any particular stocks that are looking attractive to you today? Biocon is again in the thick of action. You have Divis Laboratories from the diagnostic space, that's again up in trade. So there are these time and again bounces that are coming in. How should one really approach the pharma space? A very, very stock specific move, is that what one should be approaching with?
Yes, you're perfectly right. Stock specific action can be only seen in the pharma space. Pharma as a sector, it is underperforming from last many months. Only stock specific actions are taking, but again, there are a lot of hurdles like US FDA, which you mentioned right now. So, but I think Divis Lab is a stock one should focus. I think that can do a better momentum in short term. A 5 to 10% momentum from this level can be expected in Divis Lab. And I think in the near term, there are not so any investigation with respect to US FDA norms are in the cards to have some negative impact. And even results will be better. I think Divis can be a better stock in the pharma stock.
Okay, Divis Lab can be seen as far as the pharma space is concerned, especially the diagnostic space. This is where contributing action could be coming forward from here. Let's again look at the Nifty. It's come off the day's high point and is now holding at just 0.1% on the move. 22,361 right now. Let's see where the pressure is building up from. It's from Reliance Industries. 29.5 points downside is what Reliance is contributing on the Nifty. Along with it, Sun Pharma, that again on the back of, we were talking about hurdles from US FDA, so such hurdles are impacting such stocks. You also have HDFC Bank, that's again not performing. So 11 points of downtick is what it is contributing to the Nifty. M&M is down. 5 odd points is kind of a move on the downside that it's contributing. Bajaj Finance and Hindalco, these are the counters that are actually contributing to this slide. On the flip side, what's holding up is still Bharti Airtel with 22% on the upside, 22 points on the upside as far as Nifty is concerned. Infosys, ITC, Grasim, HCL Tech and HUL. These are the moves as far as some of specific counters are concerned, which are contributing positively. But we are increasingly looking at some profits being taken after the Nifty hit that 22,400 and stabilized above that for the large part of the day as well. Where do you see the Nifty headed now, Prashant, and do you see positive momentum continuing from here?
I think the upside would be limited to again 22,500, 22,550 levels. Yes, we are waiting for a lot of macroeconomic data this weekend, Thursday and Friday from the US market as well as in the Japan and China markets. So that will drive the markets for the next trend. But overall, the broader market in the Indian markets are very much strong. The large cap earnings are stable to positive. The main earning show is going towards mid cap, where the earnings are growing for 30% and above. So that is the space where one should look at for. But on the index again, a close above 22,350 would be again a stronger one. Any close below this level, we can see some more selling pressure coming in.
And the Nifty bank has also turned absolutely flat right now, just as how I was pointing out that some of the banks are contributing to the downtake. So HDFC Bank on the downside right now, even though ICICI Bank is still contributing to the positive side. But banking names are facing pressure. Let's also look at the PSU banking index and the financial services index as well to see if there is pressure building up there. PSU banks have come off the high point of the day, turned absolutely flat at 7150. Let's also look at financial services space. So that index also has seen some kind of a pressure built up, but then there is some uptick as well from the lowest point of the day. It did recover, it did hit the low point and then recovered. How are you looking at this banking and finance space right now? Where do you see this entire space headed, Prashant?
I think PSU bank should be highly focused right now, because again the earnings are the target right now. After HDFC Bank, again private bank would be a good big question for that, where ICICI and Axis Bank are yet to give their results. But my focus would be on Bank of Baroda, PNB Bank and SBI Bank. This can give you a better return, and a lower risk is very low at this point of time. So Bank of Baroda can be a stock one should look at and hold it for at least for result season.
Okay, hold it for the result season. So many viewers keep asking us what to buy for earnings season. In case PSU banks interest you, Prashant has given you Bank of Baroda, which you can hold on for the earnings season and buy it ahead of the earnings right now as well. So that's the kind of move that we are spotting as far as markets are concerned. You were talking about Divis Labs, Prashant, as one of your best picks as far as the pharma space is concerned. I wanted to ask you on Metropolis Healthcare. The stock is off the low point of the day. It's recovered from the lowest point. It's again up and about, and this stock has been in action over the last few days again. How would you look at this one, and does it show still promise over the next few days?
I think the upside would be limited again towards 1900 levels. Technically, the stock has already moved good from last 3 days. So I think the upside can be up to 1900, and best case above that, one should look for booking profits.
Okay, got that. You were also talking about, Prashant, the entire jewelry space and, gold related stocks that actually have done good. And now we are seeing some cool off happening from the higher levels as far as both precious metals, gold and silver are concerned. On MCX, I wanted to take your view. How are you looking at the stock of MCX? It's moving as far as the F&O space is concerned. It's up by about 3% odd. Would you have a positive view on this one at this point? It's at the day's high.
Yes, I think we were lucky to get this stock at 3900 as a trading opportunity with a target of level at 4,100 levels ahead of the results which are due today. I think due to high volatility in the gold, silver and other metals, the exchange would be the best in class to enjoy all the benefits of volatility, and it has been they will be giving you the best results out of from last 2-3 years. I think that has been discounted in the price. 4,100 and above would be a level one should look for, and then to start booking profit at those levels.
Okay, interesting at this point in time. Let's also look at some of the other movers then. Indian hotels, that caught my attention. That's again buzzing as far as the F&O space is concerned. How would you look at this hotel stock and within the entire tourism theme? And of course, with summer starting, Prashant, a lot of people are already planning their vacations, and therefore there will be high demand for hotels again at this point in time. How would you really look at Indian hotels? Is this a move that one should chase? The stock is hovering 3.5% higher at 605 at the day's high.
The stock has not moved anywhere from last 5-6 days. I think still there is a up move left in this on a trading opportunity. 625, 630 can be a level for a trader to catch up these 20-30 rupees momentum. But overall, as a hotel as a sector, we are very much bullish on hotel sector considering the tourism and lot of big events going forward. Even election will add lot of traveling and hotel room bookings and all. So I think for next 2 quarters, I think hotel industry can do good, and this stock can do at least 650 to 700 levels in next 2 quarters. So hotel industry as a sector very bullish, and Indian hotel would be the specific stock one should look for to invest.
Okay. One more stock that I wanted to take your view, Prashant. I'm afraid it will be, a stock which will not have too much of historical data for you. The recently listed stock. It's Mama Earth's parent company, Honasa Consumer. The stock has shot up in trade today. Very sharp move can be seen on this one. Again, it's at near the day's high point at 8.5%. Throughout the day, there were heavy volumes on this one, 437 as the current level. The reason behind the move was one. Its subsidiary company Dermaco has achieved 500 crore rupees of annualized revenue, and second of all, and the most important reason was probably Jefferies, which came out with a positive report on the company saying that they see a 46% potential upside as well on the stock. Of course, we do know that it has been very volatile since the time it got listed, did not give any worthwhile kind of a move as far as viewers are concerned, investors are concerned. They've actually forgotten about Mama Earth after the initial days that came in. This fresh move and this fresh brokerage report, would you see this as a space that one should be really looking at?
As a long-term investor, yes, one should think of looking at Honasa, but not at these levels. Again, 400 would be a level one should look at accumulating this stock. I think what Jeffrey has said is we are expecting a lot of volume growth in the business, and the way how they are focusing towards a non-chemical segment products in their portfolio, that would add a lot of traction towards new buyers. And I think that would be the only reason why one should look at as a long-term investor right now in this. For a short term, again, I don't think more than 450 would be a level on the technical charts. But again, I would be waiting the stock to come down to 400, then accumulate for my clients.
ओके 410 के लेवल पर आता है तो लोग इन्वेस्ट इसमें कर सकते हैं, उस लेवल पर खरीद सकते हैं. दैट्स द व्यू कमिंग इन ऑन मामा अर्थ's parent company Honasa Consumer. Since we are talking about consumption based stocks, how can we forget the mainstream FMCG space that so far has been a big laggard, but if you look at the big four FMCG names, they're all buzzing in trade right now. ITC, it started a move about 1 or 2 days back, so that continues to move high. Britannia is moving at the day's high level as well. HUL, the stock has been testing investors' patience for many years now, 2, 3, 4 years. It's not given anything. Again, it's moved to the high point of the day today, 22.59. Nestle, it was roiled in controversy last week, and again is now at the day's high point, 1.6% higher. Is there merit in this move? How would you really look at FMCG?
I think due to the underperformance of the FMCG companies and the sector for last 1 or 2 quarters, the whole market is expecting there would be some good of best results coming out in Q4 as well as the full year earnings. So that is the only reason why all the FMCG sectors are up, and I think Nestle would be the highly focused. We are expecting a good volume growth more than the street expectations. Last week it was down because of some sugar added news in the headlines. But yes, it was known to the markets again that made a headline and that stock went down by 3 to 4% on the same day. That was the opportunity on that day. But I think the stock can do another 5 to 6% upside from this level in Nestle as a product. That would be the stock one should focus on.
Okay, got that. Despite the kind of weakening trend on the benchmark index Nifty, which is now just about 1/10% higher in trade, the broader markets continue to sustain the move. Both the mid cap and the small cap indices, they are still hovering 1% higher in trade. So the move is strong across the board as far as the broader markets are concerned, and they've not lost too much ground from the day's high point as well, just hovering near about that level. How would you look at both the mid and the small cap indices, the move here, and then we will come to the specific stocks, Prashant?
I think the earnings which are going to come right now, they are going to go with a good numbers. That is why mid caps are getting good show. March was a season where we have seen a lot of selling pressure in the mid cap and the small cap due to the SEBI headlines. That gave a sharp downside of 20%, 30% downside in that. And then again, the whole earnings is the ground level which the markets are looking right now, and a lot of mid cap stocks are doing good. And the recent results which have come out have given better than expected numbers in terms of their Q4 numbers, and even margins have improved. So that has given a boost to all the mid cap and small cap stocks, so that the numbers are really coming great.
Okay. Let me just pull out some stocks where the moves are being seen across the board in mid cap and small caps. Cochin Shipyard, very strong move can be seen again on this one. About 15% of a move is what we are seeing right now. There is no let up in the kind of rally that we are seeing on Cochin Shipyard. 1263 right now. A very strong move. Let's also look at some of the other peers. Mazagon Dock, let's look at GRSE. Let's look at all of these stocks if they are also showing us some kind of a move. Again, 4% move on Mazagon Dock, 2264 can be seen on this one. Garden Reach Shipbuilders is 10.6% higher in trade, a very smart move coming in. Let's talk about this space since we've spotted this trend, Prashant. The shipbuilder stocks. Again, this space has been skyrocketing. How would you really explain the move? And
I think
is it still wise enough to enter at these levels is the question that a lot of viewers should understand.
I was about to say the same thing. The move about 10 to 15% in a day would be a day one should look at booking profits, not to enter at these levels. I think whatever the Q4 numbers and FY24 numbers are going to come, it is getting discounted in the prices, and the prices have already moved up. Any move of 10%, 15% in a stocks like defense and the shipyard companies, it's a best move and best day to book profits, not to enter at these levels.
Okay, got that. Not to enter at these levels, but these levels should be looked at as a profit booking measure as of now. Let's again pull up some of the other PSU stocks that are on the move, especially when it comes to the power space. NHPC is up and about. Let's again look at NTPC, that's also up about 1.2%. Power Grid is up half odd percent. BHEL is moving up again. You also have some other movers like transformers and rectifiers, that's up by 5 odd percent, and this space also continues to give us positive surprises almost on an everyday basis. Prashant, where would you look for value despite the kind of rally that we have seen in the power space?
So I think NTPC is a stock which I am looking for trading purpose for a short term again. From last 6 days, the stock has come down with lower lows level continuously, and then I think it is taking a support at 340 levels. So it's a level one should add on right now for a small target of 360 and 380 levels, and even 400 can be possible once the results are out. So this should be the stock, and overall power sector, I think Tata Power and NTPC are the two best in class stocks one should look for. For a longer term, again, Tata Power would be a stock to add in, and for a short term trading, NTPC is a stock one should look for.
Okay, got that. TRAI has also released the Indian Telecom Services Performance Indicator for October to December period as well. There are some data points as far as the subscriber additions are concerned. A healthy growth of about 2% is being seen on this one. There are some more details coming in, but I'll need to look at it with a fine lens to really understand what this means. But the entire telecom space is also buzzing in trade, Prashant, be it Bharti Airtel, Vodafone we've already discussed, Indus Towers has been consistently rallying, Tejas Networks, we look at the kind of move that we've seen in just the last 2 days. Where would you really look for a move here now incrementally? Is this a ripe time to add on some telecom names to the portfolio?
I think yes, I am still bullish on Bharti Airtel for a long-term investment. The way the industry is moving, and the Jio has been the new entry to disturb the whole industry. But yes, again, Jio and Bharti Airtel, they managed to have 30% odd market share, and 19% around Mr. Vodafone is holding it. And the way how money has pumped in yesterday with 90,000 crore subscription data. So a lot of money is waiting to get into telecom industries, even though having a concern about high capital intensive business. But yes, India will not be a cheaper telecom industry in the world. I think there is a good 2x to 3x jump in the ARPU can be expected when we compare with China, Japan and America. So India has been still a very cheapest, and I am expecting it will not remain cheapest for next 5 years. So Bharti Airtel for me, if you have a fundamental long-term call, 2,000 rupees with your stock, one should look at for long-term holding.
Okay, fair enough. Well, thank you so much, Prashant, for being with us on the show and discussing with us all these various sectors, themes, as well as stocks where investors can continue to put in fresh money at this point in time. Time to wind up our special edition as far as the closing action is concerned on the D Street. We'll start wrapping up the markets. The markets are incrementally seeing some profits being taken off now. We've slipped below the 1/10% gain that we were seeing. Only about 17 points of a move on the upside is remaining as far as the Nifty is concerned. You do see it tracking at 22,350 odd levels, trying to sustain above that level towards the closing of the session. The Nifty Bank unfortunately has slipped below the 48,000 mark. Just very minor gains remaining on this one. The top movers on your screens that are buzzing as far as Nifty is concerned, you have Grasim, Bharti Airtel, Maruti Suzuki, Nestle, HCL Technologies, Tata Motors, Asian Paints. These are the top movers as far as the Nifty is concerned. Let me again reiterate with the kind of move that we are seeing on the mid and the small caps. 1% higher for the mid cap 100 index, 1.2% higher for the small cap 100 index. No let up in the kind of rally that we are seeing there. IT pulled up about 0.5% higher in trade. It was the real estate space that continued to move very, very strongly in trade today. So that was the one that moved up about 1% into 2.5% in trade. Apart from this, minor gains were seen. Autos was of course up about 0.5%. You had the public sector enterprises, the Nifty CPSE, that was up by 0.6% odd. What slipped in the red? Oil and gas, metals, financial services, PSU banks, Nifty Pharma. The Pharma index lost a lot, 1% lower in trade, followed by oil and gas that slipped about 0.5%, and the metals also down 0.5% in trade. So these were the pockets where the pain point really emerged from. I've already given you the kind of moves that we've seen on the upside as far as the Nifty movers are concerned. On the downside, Sun Pharma loses about 3.5%, closing as the Nifty top loser. BPCL, Reliance Industries down by 1.4% after the earnings, after some stupendous reports really came out on RIL. Dr. Reddy's, M&M, Hindalco, Apollo Hospitals, these were the top losers as far as the Nifty is concerned. On the F&O space, Vodafone Idea continued to rule, about 10% higher in the F&O action and about 12% higher as far as the spot prices are concerned. Aditya Birla Fashion Retail and Balrampur Chini, Grasim, MCX, Oberoi Realty, these were the top stocks as far as the F&O move is concerned. With that, viewers, we will wrap it up at that. The Nifty has managed to shut shop at 22,361. We'll continue to track for you all the developments that will be important for you to track when the markets open up tomorrow. So be with us to track all the news from the world of business and finance.